The Fair Trading Commission (FTC), which was set up to address consumer protection and fair competition matters, is also responsible for utility regulation as executed by its predecessor, the Public Utilities Board. Here's how that process was started.
And in 2001, the Fair Trading Commission Act came into force, replacing the Public Utilities Act. And that had a wider breadth and scope of coverage. There was the Fair Competition Act, there was the Consumer Protection Act, there was the Utility Regulation Act, and then there were provisions for the oversight of various elements of the Telecommunications Act, the Barbados Water Authority Act, and the Barbados Light and Power Act. So it was really a wider berth of areas to cover and to administer and enforce. So it meant a lot of development, a lot of understanding.
The FTC is an economic regulator of specific utilities and is empowered to set rates to be charged by these utility companies for the provision of services.
My most memorable moments would be those rate cases. There were tense moments. A rate case is a public event. It's a legal event, so it's like an open courtroom. So you have to receive the application from the utility, maybe for some kind of increase of rate or some variation in the rate or some variation in the service. And sometimes they take months. If it's a major rate case, as there was a major rate case in 2003 with Cable and Wireless Barbados Limited, that took months. And you end up getting presentations from the company's witnesses and cross-examination of those witnesses, and presentations from objectors, and cross-examination by the objectors, and cross-examination by the board as well. So we ended up with a voluminous number of pages, thousands of pages, that then become the subject of review during deliberation and discussion to come up with a decision.
During the proceedings, it was ensured that objectives were met.
It was a consideration of the application, and it was relatively transparent because it was a public hearing. And many a time the TV office, the TV attended, and there were sections of the rate case which came on the news that night, especially if it was a key issue. And there were some very contentious things to be considered, like when there were changes in rates and when there were interconnection agreements between telecommunication providers and service providers. So yes, I think I like the fact that it served a purpose in that it kept it completely public, so you could see all the evidence and everybody had a chance to contribute to or make a comment.
The FTC has established itself as a credible oversight agency.
Consumers feel free to approach the FCC at any time, FTC, at any time they feel that their rights are infringed, or they feel free to approach for any clarification of an issue. Utility regulated companies, utility companies that are regulated, they also feel they have a comfortable relationship with the Fair Trading Commission. And so do businesses who now have to look towards fair competition. So in my view, the most important achievement for the FTC over these years has been being able to garner the respect and the credibility of the public in general as an institution that can do these three major things: utility regulation, consumer protection, and fair competition, which often in many other countries are in separate divisions.
The Fair Trading Commission will continue to ensure that all Barbadians have access to reasonably priced, reliable services from the regulated utility companies.